Hi, I'm Shruti Haasan and you're watching Bollywood Hungama. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon.
I have never been supremely comfortable with fame because I have known it as a mirage with both of my parents. So this journey feels really authentic because when I first started acting, I didn't think I was even ever given a fair shot. Although that's Shruti Haasan. She said it in a recent interview, and that's a pretty interesting statement to make. So we'll ask her why she's making that. So first of all, pleasure having you back on Bollywood Hungama.
I know I'm seeing you after so long.
Yeah, it has been long, and so tell us why do you say that I've never been comfortable with fame?
It's not that I'm not comfortable with fame. In fact, I think I'm really comfortable with fame. But what I meant to say also is that I'm not comfortable with the idea of buying into fame completely because it's a mirage. It's really, I've seen, my parents have been acting since they were kids. They've been famous since they were kids.
Ji.
And I've been famous for them since I was a kid.
Right.
So it's like, oh, are you so and so's daughter? So, the idea that fame can also dilute someone's identity is something that's been very clear to me and like instilled in me from my parents. And also, I've seen like the highs and the lows with my parents and now with myself. And I know that fame is for really like an outer covering, but the inner layer when you're feeling low or when you're feeling doubtful or overconfident, fame, is a separate thing. It doesn't really sustain itself. So I think for those who start depending on that, it can be.
That's very interesting. Okay, so why I also say it because you were in London recently and you are doing these gigs, English music, and you're performing with your band. I don't think any other actress or actor would be doing that in Bollywood. Maybe anywhere else as well. So that's something I think which is very interesting, and you like that anonymity in a way. You have a house in London as well.
I do have a house in London. I buy my own groceries, take out my own garbage. It was funny actually. The last show I was going to, my Uber app never works outside the country. So I was like, okay, I'll take a cab, but wo sab bol rahe the ki no, we're not going to take you there. There's too much traffic. So I was fully dressed up in this leather dress and my dark lipstick, and I had to take the train to my own show.
Oh,
That's when it hit me that I'm so excited about this. And I love this. And if I didn't love this, I wouldn't be comfortable with this. Because here, we're all really, really pampered. You don't have to be a movie star to feel pampered in India. It's a pampering culture, And I've loved it. I don't know about what others are doing, but this is the life I've always wanted to live. And I feel like I grew up in a dichotomous sort of home. All of us have a lot of Western influence. I think for me, it's been a little bit more because of the music and the movies. And I feel I also connect very strongly to my South Indian roots, my Indian roots, So
you learned classical music for 5.5 years.
Yes, Hindustani Sangeet, yeah. So I just felt like today is the day I feel that I'm able to access all parts of my personality, So it's been amazing.
Right. So talking about music, as you said about the family influence, so your mother, I believe, has been a huge fan of Bob Marley and Bob Dylan.
Yes.
Your father is a Beatles and a Who fan.
Yes.
So
wow, you've done your research? My God.
Yeah, so that's quite a diverse, I think, background to grow up
See,
in.
we always had Indian music at home, and we had a lot of classical music. We had a lot of old film music. So we were listening to Raja Sir, MSV Sir. Raja Sir was contemporary when I was growing up, of course, or R.D. Burman, and then there was Kishori Amonkar, Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan, Bob Marley. You can imagine, it's just a big mix, So I'm very thankful to both my parents. My mum really pushed me into music and, developed it. On this side, my dad pushed me into writing. So then it was like the perfect combination to have a songwriter. And my dad sings beautifully as well.
Yes,
so
he does.
Evenings would just come, let's sing this, So it was really, I'm very blessed. I was very lucky to grow up in that home.
And I think the first song that you recorded was for Raja Sir.
Yes.
For Chachi 420, from
No,
I understand.
for Tevar Magan, which was the original of Virasat.
Right.
Yeah.
And interestingly, you started off your career by giving music to one of your father's films.
Yes. And and then it stopped there. No, I'm kidding. Hopefully I'll score in the future, but it's too time consuming. And I'd rather spend that time into my own independent music with my own voice and experiences.
Yeah. And you won awards for your songs, film songs as well, down south especially.
Yeah.
That way. So I think that's pretty interesting as well.
It was really fun. It was for the remake of Wednesday. So as you know, the premise is already really interesting. We could play with a lot of things ideologically the misconceptions about religious, religious intolerance. It was paced like a thriller. There was so many layers. It was really, really exciting. And the director, Chakri, gave me a lot of freedom. And Dad was really, really particular, but also gave me freedom. So it was a very interesting experience.
What is your first love, music or movies?
My first love is expressing myself creatively. My second love is when people get entertained by it. Yeah.
Okay, but if we go by your choices and likes in music, in a way it can be called eclectic as well. The sort of music that you've grown up on, the sort of music that you make.
Yes.
In many ways, your band was called Extramentals.
Ages back.
Ages back.
I don't know why I came up with that name.
That's what you started off with.
Yeah.
And that's a very alternate form of music.
Yes.
You like pop rock as well.
Yes.
But you were someone who grew up on metal. Now that is something which I think a lot of people will find a bit of a different choice.
I know sometimes I put up like an Instagram post with like a band that not everybody knows, like Meshuggah or something, and then they're like, "What? She listens to metal?" I've always loved heavy metal, and I say that if my soul had a sound, it would be heavy metal, because I connect to the energy of it. And a lot of people don't understand it, and they think it's like angry people making loud, angry music, but it's not. To me, metal is meditation. It's the music I use to calm myself down and center myself.
That's quite a metaphor, actually.
Yeah.
Quite a dichotomous thing, as you said, as well. Metal is something that
it's meditative.
Meditative.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. All right. Now, you had in classical music training for 5.5 years.
Yes.
You went to LA and you
Studied music.
You studied music over there, and you had a lot of influences from West. So how did you just blend those Indian roots and the Western roots? And that's what Indian, I think, diversity in many ways is.
Yes.
There are many artists who have done that.
It's not just artists, Faridoon. Like, look at what you're wearing. I mean, you've blended, haven't you? Like, we're all a mix. We're a product of globalization. We're not just Indian anymore, but we're not purely Western. We can take all of our experiences and put it out however we want. And that's the freedom this generation has in India. And we have exposure to traveling. Now you watch it's not like when we were kids and there was 1-2 hour window of cartoons, And it's like now everybody can experience everything with the internet, with, the connectivity between the world getting like smaller and smaller. So nobody is one particular thing anymore. Even Westerners, as we call, like in America or England, are not, they've been integrated with many other, ethnicities and races. So everybody is just mixed into each other culturally now. And I think that's just beautiful.
See, why I say the blend factor is that there are many artists who are into pop music and they blend and they get different influences. But when you're saying that you've done classical music, you've learned Indian classical music. So Indian classical music, I think, is one of the most intricate musical forms in the world. We are talking about Shrutiyan, which I think a lot of people wouldn't even know that what exactly it is. It's
22 नादों का स्वर को श्रुति कहते हैं.
जी. So it's something which is very unique about India. And then when you're going to West, and obviously you are getting influenced by a lot of their intricate designs.
Well, because I grew up listening.
That makes the blending factor, as far as you are concerned, different from the rest of them.
I suppose. I think that you're right. Indian classical music is beautiful and layered, and Hindustani, like I could have learned Carnatic as well, and it was always around me. Hindustani was sort of like the blues for me. It gave me a little more with your bada khyals and all. You have a lot of room to move and experiment with finding that voice. Plus, I was from Kirana Gharana, which is more suited to my voice because I'm not like the sweet nightingale voice, And I grew up listening to Kurt Cobain and metal and Tori Amos and Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, and this was all like the opposite. But weirdly, I could find a place in the middle between these two, which felt like home to me, and that's the music I make.
All right, and you've been a music programmer as well, from what I understand, and you're an audio engineer.
I'm terrible at both, but I've done them, yes.
Yeah, and there are parents who gift, say, soft toys or maybe cars to their children. Your father gifted you Pro Tools.
Yes, he did.
So
He's such a cool dad.
I'm sure he is. And so tell us about those influences that
I think if
having
for
all the
anybody who wants to be an artist or who has children who want to be artists, I think it's important to have that environment. That's what helps us grow into what we are. And I've been very blessed to be born to two artists. Though both of them are not professional musicians, though dad sings, they understand that they understood very early on that this is the way our daughter expresses herself. So I'm really, really happy that that's what my home was. And yeah, for my 18th birthday, my dad gifted me a keyboard, software, mixer, and the computer, like the basically the whole package. And he's never gifted me anything like that. Like I mean, after that, if I'd ever said, "Daddy, can I have a car?" he'd be like, "No," because he's very strict. Otherwise, really, he's never been pampering in that sense. He's been like, I'll give you what you need. I'll give you. I mean, I was a kid who had the first rollerblades in Chennai and the first Sega console. But it was all stuff that he said, okay, she's really interested in this. He's never been like, here's a car for your 18th birthday. You know, it's never been like that. Everything he's ever gifted me has had a very practical purpose behind it. Yeah.
I'm sure. And how do you look at your film journey so far? You both down south as well as Bollywood.
Well, it's my 10th year. Well, it's 10 years now. It's been amazing. Faridoon, to be very honest with you, I didn't even know if I'd make more than one or two films. I didn't know. I'm one of those people who has like a strategy on a day-to-day basis. It's only as I've grown older and worked longer, I've had maybe slightly more of a long-term goal. But when I started out, I had absolutely no goal. I was just like, today I'm going to do my best. And I did that especially because I didn't do my best in my first film. And that sort of set the tone. And I didn't realize the seriousness of it, you know. And it took me a couple of films after that to kind of say, no, actually love doing this. And I'll do a good job, I promise, you know. And I stayed for 10 years and I've loved it. And I think acting chose me. It chose my parents for me. And then it chose me. And cinema has just been a part of my karmic journey. And today I can't imagine my life without acting. Everyone says, oh, but you're so passionate about music. I am, on the face of it, yes. But if you told me that I could never act again, I would not. I would like leave both of them aside then, because they've become so much a part of my personality as a performer today. I'm a better performer on stage because I'm an actor. I can perform my songs better when I'm singing because I can sing them as an actor, as a character. And because of all this time I've spent in cinema, I don't need to write about what I'm going through then. I can actually create a personality within myself and write as that other Shruti. And this is all stuff I've learned as an actor and through cinema. So my journey in acting has been really unique and interesting. People have been like, this wasn't a right choice, or oh, that was unexpected. People are never really sure how to look at it. But I've been around and they still watch my movies and I'm thankful.
We were talking about Mr. Haasan a short while back. I think he's a man who's an extremely intelligent guy. He's extremely well-read and he knows a lot of things, I think, which a lot of movie people may not be even aware of.
Yeah.
And he has strong views. So recently when he expressed himself and the way he was trolled about his views on Nathuram Godse and Gandhiji, and then he was even physically he was attacked as well. So as a kid, how do you respond to these sort of
See, I can't comment
activities?
much on his statements or his political journey in an informed way because I'm not very knowledgeable about it. I don't know enough about politics or the political situation, so I won't pretend to, and I will not make an ill-informed statement. As a daughter, I can say that he's been a very honest person. In my opinion, when it comes down to his core values,
Right.
he cares for this country, he cares for his people, and he cares about society and a positive change. And this is something that I've seen as a daughter. I feel that those qualities in politics are needed today, and I'm happy that he's passionate about it and that he genuinely wants to make that difference.
Do you feel a bit of a cause of concern when statements are misinterpreted and
Oh,
misrepresented?
but that's even for actors, isn't it? I mean, I've gone through it myself and I'm like, no, that's not what I meant. And then who's going to go look at the recording? And it's just a chunk, you know, it's the headline. That's something you learn to deal with even as an actor.
Did you have any conversation with Mr. Haasan after maybe when he was attacked recently? I think in Madurai, from what I understand.
No,
And,
I mean, I don't talk to him about the stuff. He's a grown man, intelligent, like you said, and he'll take care of himself.
we would like to know that how well do you know your father?
Oh God.
His movies.
Oh God, I'm gonna suck at this.
We'll give you options as well.
Oh
I'm pretty
no,
sure.
this is so bad. Please don't do this to me.
I think you like it. The options are there and it's
Chalo.
very simple. So how well does Shruti Haasan know Mr.
I
Kamal
just want to
Haasan?
clarify that I really love my dad, irrespective of how this goes.
That's interesting. How many national awards has Mr. Kamal Haasan
5?
won so far? As best actor. I'll give you options.
Okay.
As best actor. 1, 2, 3, 4.
3.
That's a good start.
The other 2 are my mother's. I've added them to this. Sorry. Yeah, okay.
In which year was Mr. Kamal Hassan's first movie,
Kalantur Kannamma.
Kannamma, released?
Nine.
I'll give you options. 60, 62, 65, 66.
60.
She's right.
Yeah.
So 2 out of 2.
Okay.
How many Filmfare Awards has Mr. Kamal Haasan won so far? I'll give you options. 16, 17, 18, 19.
19.
She's right.
Because he said now Shruti's added the 20th when I won my first. That's why I remember.
Which is Kamal Hassan's debut Hindi film as a lead actor? I'll give you options. आईना एक दूजे के लिए सनम तेरी कसम ये तो कमाल हो गया.
एक दूजे के लिए.
She's right.
Yeah.
4 out of 4.
I was going to say Sagar. Thank God there's options.
There's no Sagar. I think Ek Dujhe Ke Liye was before Sagar.
If you say so.
Yeah, I think it was before.
Okay.
It was before Sagar. Such a big hit.
Yeah.
When it released. What a hit. Seriously. So many remakes have been made on that film. In Hindi.
Why? Okay, anyway.
Which was Kamal Hassan's debut film as a director? I'll give you options. Hey Ram, Chachi 420, Virasat, Maharathi.
Chachi 420.
She's right.
Yeah. Because I know everything that happened.
She's right. 5 out of 5. Aap kham kham mein aap
Oh, yeah.
Which of the following actors has Kamal Haasan never worked with in a film?
Al Pacino.
I'll give you options. Amitabh Bachchan, Shah Rukh Khan, Salman Khan, Venkatesh.
Salman Khan.
She's right.
Yeah.
6 out of 6. What was the name of female character played by Kamal Haasan in the super hit movie Chachi 420? I'll give you options. Indu, Lakshmi, Sharda, Saraswati.
Lakshmi Godbole.
Alright,
Yeah.
7 out of 7. For which of the following films did Kamal Haasan win his first national award?
Oh, jeez. No, I don't know this. Some film he did very well in.
Mondram Pirai, Nayakan, Thevar Magan, Sagar.
Moonram Pillai.
She's right.
Yeah, because he's the oldest one and he won it young. He just did the math.
What? That's the engineer in you that is coming handy.
No,
Eight
no,
out
I'm
of
very bad. That's just
8 out of 8. For which of the following films Kamal Haasan did not win a Filmfare Award for Best Actor? Sagar, Hey Ram, Indian, Dasavatram.
Dasavataram. No, he won. Indian, he won. Sagar. No, he won. Dasavataram.
She's right.
Correct.
She's right. So 9 out of 9, and I think this is brilliant.
Thank you.
This is really brilliant. She was apprehensive in the beginning, and I think she has done fabulously well. So rapid fire with Shruti Haasan. What's that one thing South films have you wish Bollywood films had?
Better beats.
Better beats?
Yeah.
What do you mostly think about when you're alone?
Myself.
If you could run one business, which would it be and how would you change it?
Run a business.
Yeah.
How would I change? I don't know enough about other. I mean, I'd probably run a clothing line or a makeup line or something. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably run a makeup line in India. I'd like to do that with more organic products, but that work, that don't like smudge and goop.
So that's how she'll change it. What's the weirdest rumor you have heard about yourself?
That I wear fruit flavored perfume. Like apparently I love, so somebody said that Shruti Haasan loves fruit so much. She loves eating pineapple and papaya and she likes to smell of the fruits she eats. There was like a whole article.
My goodness.
I do not smell of papayas.
What 3 things Shruti's future husband must have?
Actually, I don't need to have a future husband, but if you say...
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case, right?
Right.
a sense of humor, intelligence, please don't be stupid, and willpower.
Willpower.
Yeah.
Great. If you could ask following people a question, what would it be?
Okay.
Akshay Kumar.
How do you wake up at 4 in the morning every day?
And he makes other people wake up.
Yeah, I know. I promoted a whole film with him.
Rajnikant sir.
How have you built this image so successfully?
Shah Rukh Khan.
How are you so lovely all the time?
Salman Khan.
How did you transition through the various phases of your career? Because his career has been really interesting.
Deepika Padukone.
How do you stay so skinny?
How do you stay so okay.
Yeah.
If you could, what would you? If you could change one thing about your father, Mr. Kamal Haasan.
I don't want to change anything about him, really. Honestly,
Nothing?
I don't.
Nothing?
Nah, he's fine.
All right. If you could get rid of one habit of yours.
Oh God, there's so many, but I'm very impatient. And I have like a very low tolerance for stupidity. And the world is full of stupid people, so you can imagine it's really hard for me.
If you could talk to God for a minute, what would you talk about?
I would thank him or her. And yeah, just thank him or her.
All right. I think that's a nice way of saying it. Him or her. Apparently, I think your team is full of women, and
Yeah.
you like it that way.
I mean, yeah, I've just kind of naturally gravitated towards really strong alpha females, you know. I really I think that in the whole thing about women talking about women's rights and things need to change, the important thing is that women stick with each other. So I
Unity.
love
You said
having,
unity.
yes, there needs to be a unity, like a sisterhood, you know. So I try to do that with my friends, with my work. And yeah.
And you stay with your mom and your sister.
Well, currently I stay alone, but yeah, mostly.
Okay, if you could be part of any Bollywood classic.
Mughal Azam.
All right. If you could meet any historical figure.
Edgar Allan Poe.
Wow. Wow. Quick replies in one word, please. If you were home on a rainy Sunday afternoon, what movie would you most want to see on television?
Notebook.
All right. If you get world's attention for a few minutes, which song would you sing?
My own song.
Any song that comes to your mind.
No, my own song from like my own new album.
Okay, your most favorite film of Kamal Haasan.
Mahanadi.
The last Hindi song that you played on your phone.
I was playing Tamil songs all the way for this interview. What Hindi song? What was it? Oh, you know what? Yesterday, the last song I played was that sing.
Aankhein Mare.
Aankh Mare. That's the song. I was playing it for my friend's son. He's like 15 months old and he's obsessed with that song. So I played it for him.
A South film that you think should be remade in Hindi.
None. I think we all have original ideas, and I mean, I don't mind remakes, but like, you know, it has to be adapted beautifully to the new culture. So right now I can't think of anything.
Okay, a Bollywood actor you definitely want to work with.
Again, Irfan Khan, because I did work with him, but I had no scenes with him. So I was trying to tell the director, is there any way we can, and D-Day was like, can we cross paths on the road by mistake? No, it didn't happen.
You've said, I think, in one of the interviews that he's your favorite actor.
He is my favorite actor.
That's pretty interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you doing next in Bollywood? And
So I have a
South?
Hindi film coming up, which will
Mahesh
be,
Manjrekar.
yes, which should be releasing whenever they decide. And I'm doing a Tamil film called Labam with Vijay Sethupathi, who's like my favorite actor along with Irfan Khan. So I'm really excited to work with him. I think he's amazing and the director is amazing. So I'm very excited about that film. I'm going to do a film in Telugu as well as my English album. So I have a very schizophrenic career right now. My career has split personality disorder.
Okay, so Shruti, all of the people in this room, they have just one common request. They want to listen to your beautiful voice. Any song that comes to your mind, 2 lines, all of them.
Okay. क्योंकि तू मेरी कहानी, क्योंकि तू मेरा फसाना, मर के भी ना हम कहेंगे अलविदा, अलविदा.
Fantastic. Fantastic. That was
Thank you.
wonderful. So, Shruti Haasan, lovely having you in the Hungama office, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me here. It's such a fun office.
Thank you very much.
And you have a really chirpy receptionist, I have to say.
Oh,
I've never got that kind of welcome in my life. She's like, "Welcome to Hungama, Bollywood," and I was like,
That was Michelle?
"Wow!" She was so energetic. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much. And all the best wishes for all your future ventures. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That's all we have from Bollywood Hungama. Keep on watching.
Hi, I'm Shruti Haasan and you're watching Bollywood Hungama. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon.